so much. Thank you very much. So I take this opportunity to invite our DVC, Academics Research and Student Affairs, to make her remarks and invite our Vice Chancellor. Let's put our hands together to welcome our DVC.
Thank you so much, our Registrar, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Njuguna, our guest speaker of the day, our esteemed visitors, who I told earlier they already look like members of ZTech University, members of staff who are here. I can see our Dean, School of Education, Arts and Social Sciences, and our beloved students. Good morning. Now, because you would clap for me, at least clap for the visitors. So we're going to give them 5 factorial. We're going to give them 5 factorial. 1 to go. Much better. And I know I've been clapped for. So my name is Professor Alice Njuguna. I'm the Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of Academics, Research and Student Affairs. The people on this side, many of them, apart from maybe 1 or 2 or 3 that I have seen and she has refused to say her age, would not call themselves Gen Z. You are the young ones and you are the future. And therefore you are the reason we are here today. Growing up in the village, because I grew up in the village, at an early age, whenever somebody would ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I started by being a teacher, because the teacher is the only person who wore clean shoes, and they had a car probably. Then as I started moving around, I wanted to be a policeman, because I started noticing that policemen wore very neat uniforms. When I started going to the hospital, I started wanting to be a nurse or a doctor. And the story goes on. Turn to your friend and tell them, what was your first idea of a career? What have they told you? What have they told you? Now ask them, are you studying for that career now? I can see people shaking their heads, and because we are in Kenya, I believe that doing this means no. But I think you're in the right place now, because we are going to talk about careers and whether what you're doing is correct, and I don't want to go into the theory of what a career is, but you've heard from our visitors, our speakers. You have had some are financial analysts, you have had some are in the hotel industry. I'm sure here I have students from the School of Business, I have students doing HR, I have students doing marketing, I have students doing procurement, I have students doing hospitality, and you've had Paleo here. We have students doing education. I have had Teach for Kenya is here. I have some education students. I have met a teacher from Starehe, former teacher from Starehe. You know, there are all those sorts of careers, and I'm glad that she has told us that we're doing the right careers, meaning that ZTech University is doing the right job. Professor, the other day I met a student, a young boy of 6 years, going to a very high class school, I would say. And I asked him, what do you want to do when you grow up? He told me he wanted to operate a fire engine. He wanted to operate a fire engine. So nothing changes. Finally, it is just the same. Whatever school you go to, whichever university you want to do to, whatever university that you are attending, careers are almost the same. Now, I come from Nyandarua district. Kashkropia Nyandarua ni? When I was growing up, I used to really say, I never want to be a farmer. But I do have quite a bit of farming. They say, if a man asks you for fish, teach him how to fish and give him a fishing rod and a bait. What they don't say is that also teach him how to swim. Teach him how to swim, because if you are fishing, you can accidentally fall into the river, and of course, unless you're fishing from some of those small ponds that we talk about now. So here, we're not here to teach you how to fish, because in class we are there teaching you how to fish. We're not giving you a fishing rod and a bait, because your parents will do that. We're here to teach you how to swim. Because once you get into the field of swimming, of fishing, you will find that you have to navigate your way. And that's why we have the exhibitions and all those things that you have put together. So you can say that even though I am doing education, I can still get into hospitality. Even though I am doing a Bachelor of Commerce, I can still get into hospitality. Even though I am doing IT, I can still get into fintech and get into financial services. So as the registrar said, please interact with our guests. Ask the questions that we would not even ask your father, because I know some of us were forced by our fathers, particularly mothers, we are a bit nice. Your father said, you have to do IT. Your father said, you have to do BCom. Your father said, you have to do hospitality, and sometimes you didn't have a chance to question. But now at this age, and as we're going to encounter our visitors, you're going to be able to change all that. So our mission as Tech University is to impact society through research-driven education that integrates innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship. Our mission is to impact society through research-driven education that integrates innovation. That means you've got to be creative. That's why we shall see some of our exhibitions. Technology, whatever we do, whether we are teaching you hospitality or any other course, we ensure that there is a technology element. And of course, entrepreneurship. Because when they say that jobs are scarce, Tech universities get employed, and if they don't get jobs, they start the enterprises themselves. Last year we had a student who graduated, and by the time she was graduating, she had a bakery somewhere in Kibera. She was already employing 5 people. We train our students so that they are not just job seekers, they are also job creators, solution providers, and that's why we're here today. So I want to wish you a happy 3-day learning. Even if tomorrow you're not in session, please pass by the exhibitions, pop in when you can, and get to learn. And don't leave before you get the contacts of all these good people. Don't leave before you get the contacts of all these good people. Seated here are CEOs. Sometimes when you go to the office, it's not easy to get in. But when they're at Tech University, they are ours. When they're at Tech University, they are ours. So we can interact with you and ask all the questions.